Alright, apparently we're live. Cool. So hello and welcome to another live stream. And today apparently there's Taupo qualifying, I think. So we'll watch that when that comes on. I've been checking the live timing, it's not coming on yet. But I'm gonna find out what time. Am I late? It's 9 o'clock where I am. Was it 9 AST to AC? Is that what it is? Give my computer a second to finish imploding. No, I'm not late. Alright, well, the computer's imploding now, so off to a great start. Yeah, it's doing nothing. I can't even see my mouse anymore. Maybe the computer will go black or something and it'll be completely ruined. The live stream thing is still flashing, but it's just a... Oh, there we go. Technically, you made it in time. Starts 9:50, so 30 minutes before that for you. Okay. Alright, so 9:20, so in 20 minutes. Is that what you mean? Because I said... yeah, I thought it was earlier for me, but I thought I will just check the live timing, and if it shows up, then it shows up. Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll just have the live timing going for when it's ready to show up. So yeah, I think that's 20 minutes for me. Yeah, it's not ready yet. I think there's like a GT race going on, so it's probably not going to show anything. All right, there we go. 17 minutes. That's what we've got. Okay, so that gives me 17 minutes to go through the weekend's racing, including Friday, because I just don't have the stats written down for anything. Oh, there we go. I need to go to the Supercars website, but not for the live timing bit. I need to go and look at all the qualifying starts and finishes. So I can do that for 17 minutes, and then we'll watch and enjoy. I think, when was it? We had the Chev changes. Was that for this weekend or was that last weekend? I think it was for this weekend. It doesn't seem to have made much of a difference anyway. It's just like what teams are good and what teams aren't good. There we go. Well, there we go. Just wait for the Supercars website to be actually good. This weekend, yeah, I thought it was this weekend. And Kai Allen got his first win, so that was cool to see. The Grove cars seem to be quite fast, so... and I think they've been in the mix for every single race as well, so it's pretty much theirs to win or lose. But I think Kai Allen's first win has been a long time coming. He's got the goods to do it, and they just got the strategy right. Toyotas look scarily fast, yeah. Well, I thought Toyota might be good in New Zealand. I don't know. I just had a little feeling about it that I wouldn't be surprised if it happened. One of them. Yeah, well, that's it. Woody's fast, but Woody's been fast for a few years now. I don't know if Chaz is doing something different or he's just getting too old, but he's just the next best. Woody is better than Chaz. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. maybe because we know Chaz did something different last year, so you can't really explain and say, "Oh, Woody's better than Chaz," entirely on merit because they were doing stuff different with Chaz, and that's what got him the championship. But this year, we because last year they were saying that, oh, Chaz has been experimenting with setups during the races, so he's getting compromised results, and then that's why they had the best car for the finals last year. Biggest bunch of BS I've ever heard. That's the story that they're running with. That's what they're saying. And they were looking at parts of the tracks to develop to make the car really good in those parts of the track. People are buying it. So do you think that Chaz was just magically really good in the finals and he just turned it on all of a sudden? And that all that happened was that Ryan Wood should have won the championship and he just got screwed over? He's been as fast every other year. You know, Chaz is good at Adelaide. Don't know about Sandown. Sandown's not a track that Chaz has been very good at. Um, Not in terms of like race winning pace. He wasn't going to win at Sandown. No, Woody was. Yeah, Woody was fast and yeah. Um, and Gold Coast Chaz has been very good at as well. All right, I see your point. I see your point. But you can be a good driver and not have the setup as well. You can be a driver that's really good at a certain track and just not have quite the setup that you need to win the race. Uh, so it's nothing new. They're just making it up to make it sound like they spent the season tanking. But why would they say that? Why would they say that? They're like, oh yeah, we've been working hard all year so that we're this good at these tracks. Why would they say something like that? To sell T-shirts? To sell team memberships? Or is it just excuses for how he wasn't doing very well for most of the season? Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, maybe that's true. Yeah, it was like yeah, 500 or 700 points back, whatever it was. I'll find my 2025 driver ups and downs. Case in point. Look how good Woody is going now. Yeah, it does make you think, if Woody's doing so well now, Chaz wouldn't be tanking. Yeah. Yeah, Woody's just good. That's that's what seems to be going on. And my man Jimmy Golding's still running up the front as well. It won't because the car's good, so is he. Yeah, well, Woody's just got a natural speed. He's just really fast. He was really fast in his rookie season, but he wasn't out qualifying Chaz. Chaz hit form at the end of the year and did a good job. Yeah, so he was just good at the right time then. But and also he could have stolen that. If Woody didn't have any mechanicals, honestly, he could have stolen that championship. I don't believe that. I think I don't think Woody wasn't putting it on pole, running away with it. But we'll see in a sec when I get my computer to actually fire up and show me the information. Like I think it wasn't like he was at the front every race. Um, was the one when he crashed into Brock Feeney? He just got a better start than Chaz, right? Or he did out qualify Chaz, I think. And the reason he wasn't winning was because of Chaz or a mechanical happened. Yeah. Oh, and also when in the second race at Gold Coast where they just did the stupidest strategy blunder straight away to compromise his race. When if they had legitimate speed, they should have just run a normal race and would have got themselves up there, but maybe not made the finals because they had the DNF in that first race. Or was a DNF or just because they had the fuel flow issue and that screwed them over. Because of Chaz, they were scared of a double stack. Yeah, but if they had the speed, they wouldn't be scared of a double stack because they'd pass Chaz and then they wouldn't need to be worried about a double stack. They'd be worried about double stack for Chaz, but they just tell Chaz to stay out another lap. But I suppose it would be, if it was a safety car, then you'd be worried about a double stack, especially at a track like Gold Coast. But you just prioritize the faster car. You say, well, he's faster, so he needs to be in the best position. But Chaz was further up in the championship and had a better chance, so they were sort of prioritizing Chaz then. Yeah, well, I just sort of yeah, in a normal race you would prioritize the fastest car, but obviously thinking finals, you gotta prioritize the best final car. Make sure that Chaz gets through, and if you can, get Woody through. So, because I think Woody was like 10th or something in Gold Coast. If you look at race context, Woody would have done Chaz almost every race. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we're gonna see in a second now that Excel is on. Okay, this is Woody. First drop the 20th. What was the qualifying issue at Gold Coast? Did he go off track on his qualifying lap, or was that a wet quali? Or hang on, no, Gold Coast. What happened? No, I think it was just legitimate. He just did not seem to have the pace in that second race. I need to put this up here. And yeah, should have had the pace for both races at Sandy, and obviously let Chaz past 5th and 3rd. And if I find new window, I'll go find Chaz wherever he is. There. And then oops. Oh, this sort of works. 2nd, 12th, and 4th. So Chaz out-qualified him in a couple other races. What's that? 3 out of 7 races. And Chaz was allowed to get those wins. Obviously, Woody was on pole on the first race at Gold Coast, and he was leading when that fuel flow issue happened. But Chaz was incredibly fast. Chaz's qualifying just hasn't quite been up to scratch as Woody's come on in the recent past. Where, like, even this year, Chaz seems to be qualifying. He's barely qualifying in the top 5. So we'll have a look at that. My theory, and this is just a fun little kick around theory, is that 4 minutes. Is that Chaz is having his Mark Winterbottom sort of era. Don't think it's been good since he's been with this team. No, that's not true at all. Chaz was really good in 2024. Hang on, where's... Oh, I just got rid of Excel. That's so annoying. I got rid of the bit that I wanted to not be in. In qualifying trim. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 2026. Yeah, Chaz has been really struggling with qualifying there. Yeah, this is just going off the top of my head. Hang on, do I have stats on Chaz's qualifying? I have driver ups and downs for the last several years. The whole time he's been with him, he's qualifying such a yo-yo. Yeah, well, so's Tickford as well. So I think that sometimes you can't blame the driver every time the team isn't winning the championship. You've got to look at, is the whole team actually working well? 2024. Here we go. Chess. Okay. So top fives a lot of the time. And then just, yeah, they go to Darwin and it's terrible. That's Peru winner bottom one in a different configuration of championships. Can't really compare. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say that. Well, not are we? Are we comparing? I'm not comparing Frosty's championship with Mostert's championship because it's two different ways of playing the game. Winterbottom won it legitimately. Chaz won it when they made a mess of it. He wasn't the best driver last year. Yeah. It was Brock Feeney. Brock Feeney was the best driver last year, and he got undone by a mechanical issue. We must be getting really close to 2 minutes. Without this change, Chaz would never be a champion. He got lucky. Yeah, agreed. Where was I looking? Somehow his name's on the same trophy. Yeah, it's not fair. It's not a fair comparison. So this is 24. He had a bad one at Darwin, but apart from that, he was qualifying up the front. Tassie, really good race pace at Tassie. It's not too bad. In terms of 14 top 5 qualifying results, that's fourth best of anyone in 2024. Cam Waters second, and then you probably got Brock Feeney and Will Brown up there as well. So Waters has been a really good qualifier for a long time. If we look at Chaz's race results, I think Waters and Tickford, it's not working as well as we might hope. That especially this year, for some reason, they're really struggling. It's complex. It's difficult to make it clear cut all the time. Sometimes there's a nice explanation that it makes sense and you can explain it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think we agree that Chaz won the championship, but I don't respect Chaz champions, so I got rose tinted. Yeah, I think Chaz winning the championship is similar to Winterbottom in that he wasn't the best guy in the team. He was getting beaten, and he was getting out qualified by Frosty was getting out qualified by Chaz, and then but things went wrong for Chaz, so Chaz didn't win the championship that year. What is this doing? Oh, there we go. He was up the front all year and then won at the end. Fair. Yeah. And then you'd go, well done, great job. you deserve to win the championship. But if it's like he just suddenly came in and spoiled the party and won the championship, it's like, really? You just came away and took it all, stinking it up, and then at the end flying. Yeah, like I think Taupo was the only point in the year last year where Chaz was doing well and was competitive. But I think that was only for what, one race or two races. So whatever, congrats. Yeah. Let me see if I can get the app to work so I can watch Shotgun. I won't be able to show that unfortunately, but I'll just have the live timing and we can talk about what's going on. Championship level matters too, as in the Sprint Cup standings. Race HQ. Oh, and it's got radio as well on Supercars Plus. That's pretty cool. I enjoyed that last weekend. We're not getting Shotgun yet. Not yet. Skill of the championship, quality of the drivers. Yeah, it gets really complicated then as well because you got different drivers and different cars. It's not that high right now. Yeah, well, we've had a lot of young guns being prioritized at the moment. Back in the day, yeah, well, you don't have like the quality of like you don't have your SVGs, your Jamie Whincups, Scott McLaughlin's. You've got different guys with different situations, but you could still say, you got Brody Kostecki, Cam Waters, Matt Payne, Ryan Wood, I'm not sure about Will Brown, Brock Feeney for sure. Anton De Pasquale, you could say as well, but he's not quite always there, and he's been driving for just off the podium teams. There's a clear level difference. Yeah, I think so. I think these just 5 drivers that can win the championship. Yeah, so you got what? Feeney, Woody, Payne, Waters, Kostecki. I think that's about right. It's not Brown, although Brown's doing all right at the moment. Waters? Well, not at the moment. Waters is good, but it's probably not gonna happen this year. Who are you saying instead of Waters? You saying Brown? Brown's doing all right this year though. He's found a little bit. Um, he found a little bit at Albert Park, and he's been a bit more consistent in New Zealand as well. So he could be playing his way in. He's not in it really, but he's definitely ahead of Waters. Yeah. Has Brown been outscoring Feeney lately? Not sure. I wanna look at the data, but I wanna be looking at watching these laps tumble. Woody's up the top. Not really. Alright, so Feeney's still definitely up there. Because I think wasn't it a Taupo, it was just second and fourth, and they just swapped spots at Taupo. Woody, Kyle Allen's done a good one. Looks like 21 seems to be a good time to be going for. And next we'll set the top 10. Then we have it's three level qualifying. Radio. And then we've got one more race today as well, and that one's gonna have the shootout. Oh no, hang on, no, this one's got the shootout. Shootout today, yeah. Yeah, and the Sunday shootout. But what's the one afterwards? What? Because there's 2 races, right? We had 2 yesterday, one oh no, it's just one today. It's the big race today. Woody on the grass, oh no. Yeah. And what, 70 odd lap race? I haven't really checked what's happening. Cooper Murray's done a good one. Nice. I reckon Cooper, yeah, 60 laps. Cooper, wasn't Cooper good in one of the other races this weekend? I haven't really seen a whole lot. I've had a bit going on, but I reckon Cooper's found something this weekend. But maybe just the other guys are on used tyres and they're just going to slam it down. Jackson Walls is stinking it up. Yeah, he has been. He's right. He's Rylan Gray is making him look pretty ordinary as well. Like Rylan, you'd think that Walls in the Triple Eight car and um and Rylan Gray in the DJR car, you'd think that Walls would have a better opportunity than Gray, but Gray's been doing a better job in the DJR car because I don't think that the DJR car is better than the Triple Eight car. Because what we say that depends in terms of personnel who moved across from the wild card. You disagree? Third Triple Eight car. You think that the third Triple Eight car isn't as good as the second DJR car? Because you gotta remember the second DJR car last year wasn't that good. You know, and let's say that Gray and Will Dave are at the same level in terms of technical help. Really? Triple Eight's a lot more organised. Looks like Kostecki's coming in. How much time have we got before the end of the session, end of this set time, well, the end of this part of the session? Doesn't even say. 5 minutes, yeah. So Kostecki's coming in for fresh greens. Makes you wonder if Cooper Murray's actually gone green straight away. But you wouldn't go green straight away. I think he's found something. Reynolds is way down. I don't think it's quite sorted out. Reynolds should be a little bit further up, and Randall should be quite a bit further up. Randall should be about 10 spots higher up. I don't know how he's going this weekend, though, so I can't remember if he's just having an absolute stinker this weekend or... because he's usually like 12th, roughly. Banging around somewhere 7th to 12th. You know, he might pull one out of his ass and slam it on the front row. If it's not a stinker, then he's there. He's there all the time. Then he's there all the time. Yeah. And he has them sometimes, but I think it's just Tickford sometimes. They just rock up at weekends and... Although they've been struggling this weekend, haven't they? He's been shit this week. Yeah, I think I remember it was at the first race that Waters and Randall were outside the 10 and just not getting into it. So, like, obviously Waters is a lot better than Randall, but even Randall by himself has been consistently down there. Like, Waters might stick at 6th or something. Sneak it in the 10 or something, but... Man, I really wish this thing would show how much time we've got on the... He just shitting his back there. Yeah. What if I do that? I think the live timing actually shows better information. There, hang on, elapsed time. Yeah, that's a bit better. I'm gonna go with this one. I don't need the information about what's going on. Looks like LeBrock and Di Pasquale up there. Now, who gets knocked out? Is it the bottom 4 and the next 10, right? I think that's the way it works with this system. 19th down. Okay, so yeah, Aaron Cameron needs to pull his finger out and get a lap done. Depends because it still doesn't even tell me. Is it 15 minute qualifying. It looks like they're all doing personal bests now. Feeney off. Oh, god damn. And that's bad because he's down in 8th. If all the field steps up, which it looks like they're all doing personal bests, he could drop. He stuffs it up at the wrong time. Damn. Yeah, Cameron Hill's sneaking up there. Where's Chaz? He's down 15th. Jesus. He should be able to do it. And wait, is that his lap? Yeah, done. Got one up. Brownie's just done a really good one too, but the one that Cooper Murray did might keep him in there. Well, he'll at least be able to progress into Q2. Qualifying shit this weekend. Feeney. Yeah, I don't know. When you say shit, you mean outside of the top 2 row? Mr. Mostert. Oh, Mostert's been qualifying badly? Okay. So then we can't expect the lap time that he's just done to be a really good, to be a top 10 time. So Woody should have a better one coming up in a second. Who's just jumped up? That Gabby Kostecki. Yeah. Gap to leader. That's what I need to be looking at. Oh wow, Brock's way down there. He's 8/10 off. That's crazy. LeBrock. Yes. Go Brocky. What's he doing in 3rd? Oh wow. There we go. Feeney's got himself up there. Moster's 5/10 off, so looks like Kai Allen's on another good one. I guess that the green line only shows what the actual, like, where they are on track rather than whether they're doing well or not. Saved himself. What, did LeBron go off? Yeah, I wish I could see. Maybe I should be watching the other thing, the combined, because it tells me what's going on. Went to 3rd and I was shocked. Okay, yeah. Andre's down 19th. Gee, that's bad. He's down 20th. Payne's up the top. And yeah, Cooper's in 7th there. And that's right, 12-minute qualifying. Walls made it out now. Jesus. So Gray's out. Walls and Stewart scraped through. Honk is into session 2. What? Honk. What? What's honk? Well, let me. What's honk? What the hell is that? Oh my god. Those who won't progress: Hill, Fraser, Jones, Reynolds, Heimgartner, and Gray. Hill's a bit surprising. And Heimgartner. Gee, that's... Oh, and yeah, all 3 BJR cars didn't make it through. Are they struggling a little bit? No, Hill's been pretty competitive, hasn't he? Yeah, Woody didn't do a very good one, but maybe Woody had the confidence that he would make it through. Because, like, that's not a pole lap. They've been crashing all weekend. Yeah, the BJR cars, yeah. Probably not helping them. Aaron Cameron's done a good one. Up in the 5th there. It's interesting. You don't know what strategies people are doing, but you can't really afford to compromise too much and put yourself on tires that aren't as good. Like my attitude would be you put your best foot forward in Q1, second best in Q2, third best in Q3, unless you have a set of greens for Q3, um, which is usually what happens. I think that people usually save a set of greens for Q3. I think that's what Feeney and Brown were talking about. They save a set of greens for Q3 in the Lucky Dogs. Feeney Brown. They try, yeah, and that's probably the point. Other teams maybe just go full beans, but can't always depend on the tyre bank. Yeah, depends on the tyre bank. Yeah, and this week, well, actually, if you, the Taupo Sunday tyres would have been kept, so they would have used those for the first qualifying and race for Friday, and then use the Christchurch tyres for the Christchurch races, or the ones that are supposed to be for that were supposed to be for Christchurch. Golding in ninth, Anton 10th. It's interesting how many don't go anywhere. We're back on soon. I hope so. They should be back on in like 5 minutes anyway. Come in, swap some tyres, go out again. So, looks like Feeney did a very good one there, but Feeney did go off, so he sort of screwed himself over. Whereas it looks like other drivers were doing not quite their complete best lap. Like Feeney obviously did, but then you got Mostert's done one personal best, Kylan's done two, Ojada's done two. Like they come out, scrape a couple hundredths out of a lap time, or maybe a tenth out of lap time. It sort of tells you like how good some of the teams are that, based on number of laps they did. Murray did 2 laps. They might be being really clever with that one, because he's just gone out and slammed the 21.6 on, and they've probably gone, yeah, that's going to be hard to beat. Because that's the lowest number of laps that anyone's done. So they might be in a good situation there. Then you got 7 laps for Feeney because he screwed up that one. Apart from that, everyone's doing 5 or 6. I was wondering if maybe the people further down the back would have done 6 laps more likely than 5, but seems to be about the same. Everyone's done 5 or 6 apart from Feeney and Murray. So I imagine at 12:10 they're gonna come back out for Q2. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything I can look at the moment. I used to look at Twitter, and because they used to post pictures of what's going on Twitter. I wonder if they still use Twitter these days, or if they have gone away from it because of Elon Musk, or maybe they kept with it because of. See what happens. Because they used to just like constantly post what's going on. No, they haven't posted anything since Bathurst. Wow. Maybe they're over it. Here we go. Session's back underway. So yeah. So the top 18. And they're gonna, so the bottom 8 get knocked out. Everybody seems to be going out straight away. Is this? Oh, that's a weird thing that they've done. Some of these modern websites are just silly. Because, like, I want to see the stuff on the right, the extra data they've got, but looks like Walkinshaw and Triple Eight have gone out straight away. And then, yeah, we're going out in team order, it looks like. Just realised Job made it. Yeah, Job Stewart made it. So that's going to be pretty interesting for him. I think that might make it one. I think his best qualifying is something like 16th or 15th. Maybe not 15th. I think 16th or 17th is like his best qualifying. So yeah, they've found something at Erebus. I think Cooper Murray definitely has. And I don't know if he just got sort of lucky and just nailed it in Q1, but he might be quite fast. I think he did find something in the earlier qualifying session this weekend. Finished 147. They were still in the warm up laps now. So they'd probably be looking to be doing something like what they did was a 121.1. Was that what it was before? Doesn't say. But definitely was it, yeah, I think it was like a 121.1 that Matt Payne did. So they just, I think we've got the first flyers coming on from Feeney and Brown, maybe. Yeah, well, they're doing the 20-second first sectors now, 22 seconds, so it's roughly good. They should be able to. I imagine this would. Yeah, we go purple 32. Oh, that might not be quite. It might not be a 21. But you think they would? You wouldn't want to waste a tire. See, like you do your warm up lap, and then you just put the pedal to the metal, you slam it, and just get a really good lap time up there. So yep, 21.4 for Feeney, 21.5 for Brown, 21.4 for Woody, just off Feeney, 21.7 for Mostert, 22 for Payne. Gee, that's not very good. Golding and LeBrock are the only two drivers not heading out to set a lap early. I did wonder if maybe somebody might wait. They might be trying to save tyres. A bit of confidence there. But I don't know. If I were LeBrock, I'd go and do it. But yeah, I guess they might be trying to save tyres there. They might not have the tyre condition for Q3. Kostecki 21.5. Everyone else doing 22s. So the guys who went out first seem to have got a lot more out of it. The Walkinshaw cars, the and Triple Eight cars. Yeah, what's that? Is that an in lap? No, Kai Allen's doing another push one. But Feeney seems to have slowed down quite a bit there. So I don't think he'd be doing a faster lap than what he's just done. So they can only do one lap out of the tyre at the moment. Yeah, they're in the pits. It's so weird. On the old live timing, that used to go blue, so that was how you knew they were in the pits. Now it just tells you there on the track. I don't know if it does it on the other one. Because this is a combined view, it seems to be a bit better than the actual live timing one. Yeah, it doesn't. I like combined better though. It's got a bit more information about what's going on. 0.1 of a second to rest top 4 so far. Yeah, it's pretty close. But that seems to be the top time people are doing. Aaron Cameron's dawdling around. Yeah, everybody else is in the pits. Actually, Cameron's just come in. What's everyone else doing? Oh, that's oh, yeah, Golding and LeBrock haven't gone yet. Well, now's the time to go while everyone else is in the pits. They should have gone out just before everybody came in. But they're probably not doing a first run. They're just going to do a second run. Because it'll be, what, 12 minutes, and then another 12 minutes, and then another 12 minutes. Juice has got some speed too, so he could do something crazy and put it up in the top 10. Make it into the shootout. Alright, so Cooper Murray's coming out first, and Job. It's going to be interesting. And then Juice and Walls. When's LeBrock and Golding? They must be going late. Or is this a second run rather than a third? Are they doing 3 runs rather than 2? Surely there's only 2 runs. Everyone's coming out now. Yeah, a 21.4 to slide into the top 10. What? At least a 21.4. The top time currently is a 21.4. Or are they saying that because the top time in Q1 was a 21.1? I don't know. I don't think that's entirely true. You definitely need like a mid to low 21 to get through. It's probably why they're saying 21.4, but I don't know how they're calculating that. They might be doing that based on everybody's top sector times and then making some sort of calculation based on that. LeBrock is out. Golding is also out, but he hasn't finished the first sector yet. No one started their lap yet. Well, surely Cooper Murray and Job Stewart would be starting their lap soon because they're the first ones out. But they haven't because it's 22-second first sector, I think. So next lap. Though I think a 37 roughly is best. Is that what the best time is? I can't remember. And yeah, Golding's finished his as well, yeah. Alright, Cooper's on, 22 flat in sector 1. And 22.2 for Stewart and no Jada. Let's go, Cooper. What's he got? He might go purple again. Maybe not everyone went out in greens. 33.3. That's not the best. I think it's like a 32 is the best mid sector. So he might have made a mistake or something. Yeah, because Job and Ojada have done 33.2, so Cooper might have made a mistake in that middle sector. And Brown's just done a 32.9. Gone purple there. Well, Wood's done a 33.1, so 33s must be roughly a competitive time. And Cooper Murray's got up to 6th, drove up to 7th. Yeah, there must be green tyre runs there. We'll see in a second when Brown does his lap what seems to be 21.3. And Feeney, actually Moster finishes first. 21.5, that's not good. And Feeney 21.2, very good. What else? Who was that? Waters 21.5. And Allen 21.4. And Matt Payne at 20.9. Very good. Gee, Matt Payne's got the goods. Those Grove cars are quite good. Yeah, well, if Matt Payne can crack a 20.9, surely somebody else. Oh, and Golding has just gone 21.1. Go, Jimmy. There we go. With a 21.9 Sector 1. That definitely set him up. And some competitive other sectors. Yeah, Mostert and Woody definitely need to do another lap to get further in, so they don't drop out of Q2. Anton's done a good one too. 21.3. Yeah, they were saying 21.4, so it looks like they might be right. So their calculations are pretty much on point. Pit exits closed, so last laps. I don't think Payne's doing another one. Feeney's probably not. Allen might be on one. No, he's just finished, hasn't he? His pits. Everyone's pitted. Yeah, everyone's coming in. Yeah, looks like it. Oh, hang on. Is Ojeda on a lap? No, he's not. That's a 30-second first sector. That's not a lap. That's, Cameron's just done one. 21.4. So that might get him through. Also, it's on the bubble. Yeah, I know, but the live timing seems to be messed up. I can't really tell what's going on. Because he might be out. Still a few cars out on track. Woody, Cameron, Mostert, Bates. Murray's well down. He must be on a lap, surely. But he's not. He's done a 27.8. Or maybe the live timing's tripping up like it did in that first race where it messed everyone up. Mostert out. Laters. Yep. Cameron is 9th. Bumper Mostert out. Yep. We saw that one. I think live timing might be playing up or something. Or it just refreshes really slow. Shaking my head. Mostert had greens left. Oh, what an idiot. But Woody wasn't that... I think maybe Woody's trying to save tyres, but I still think you've got to really have a crack. You can't be mucking around with it like that. Like, even if you get through and then you put tyres that aren't very good for the shootout, you still qualify 10th rather than 11th. But maybe it doesn't make a difference, but that's still one row back. So that can make all the difference. You know, you have a good start in 10th, you can get yourself to 8th by the end of the first lap. Top 10 to progress. Payne, Golding, Kostecki, Feeney, Brown, De Pasquale, Allen, Wood, Cameron, and Waters. Good for Waters to get through. He found something. 21.5. Randall did a 21.9. It's well off there. Um, I want to say Golding's a bit of a surprise, but he did get on the podium yesterday, so and I think I heard it was a crazy race. I think I watched some of the highlights, but I didn't really fully see what happened. 1 second off is crazy. Who's 21.9 for Randall? Yeah, it's not good. Maybe he didn't have greens, or maybe he didn't do a. Yeah, but they've been struggling all weekend, so yeah. 1 second off versus Waters 6 tenths off. Yeah. 5 tenths off is roughly what is Aaron Cameron? No, hang on. Woody. Well, not even Woody. Woody is um, just off 5 tenths off Payne. So that's a fair amount though. But I think Woody might be saving tyres because he's maybe got the confidence that he can get through. Or maybe they were wanting to do a 21.4. You think Woody saved tyres? Yeah, I think he might have just had that confidence that he can do a good enough lap to get through. But that 21.4 prediction by Supercars, that's pretty much on point. He didn't improve on his first run on used. Oh, okay, yep. So yeah, he must not have run greens then. Hmm. And Wall's got nowhere as well. It's a 22-2. Ojeda 21.9. Basically the same lap time as Randall, who's also a second off. And Walls is just over a second off. Job Stewart 15th. It's a good start for him. But Cooper Murray, he just do a freak lap or something because it looked like he had something and then he didn't have anything. So it's a shame. And LeBrock as well. Bates out-qualified him, which, Bates is pretty good. So, but he just doesn't have the consistency and week in, week out to be beating LeBrock every day. Looks like LeBrock might have been saving tyres or something. You don't like Courtney in the telecast? Why not? I like that he has a different way of talking about what it's like going racing and moves you can do and stuff like that. Crails is pretty good. It's a different voice. Feel like he's saying things that are worth saying, but it's not new. I've heard it all before. What, through like Scafey and Crompo saying that sort of stuff before? Yeah. Or maybe they put Courtney in the telecast because they think more people would watch because they like James Courtney. It'd be like putting Chaz Mostert in the telecast. And maybe they should because he's washed. Just a new voice that says exactly the same shit Scape does. Yeah, that's right. And Crompo as well. Crompo was coming from a similar perspective, but Crompo was a lot more in the box than in the car than Scapey was. Scapey had a full career. Shootout in 1 hour. All right. I don't know if I'm going to go for that long. All right. So yeah, that's. So Waters, Cameron, Wood, Allen, D. Pasquale, Brown, Feeney, Kaseki, Golding, and Payne. But Golding only did 7 laps, same as LeBrock. But LeBrock waiting to do. I thought it was a mistake by LeBrock. Oh, starts in 15 minutes. It said 1 hour. If we watch the stream back, I swear it said 1 hour. And now they've just changed it to 15 minutes, I'm pretty sure. Okay. Alright, well, if it's 15 minutes, then, I can do some more of my homework that I was doing. Because I was trying to update my spreadsheets, which will help me understand how everyone's going this weekend. I've been aware that Tickford's not doing well, and Groves are doing really well, because Kai only got a win, Payne had a dominant win, Kostecki's still doing great. Golding got a podium yesterday. Woody, I think Woody's still in the mix as well. Mostert not so much. Them. I don't know what you mean. But I guess that maybe I'm right. Maybe that is what, so would he use new tires and replicated the time he did unused? Oh, okay. Oh, that's bad. How did he manage that? Maybe his car's not quite right with the new tires or something. Alright, this is that first race. So said the tires didn't switch on. Yeah, well, maybe he's not very good at switching the tires on or something. It's hard to say. I don't know if a lot of drivers are having too much trouble with it, but like, it's not the tire's fault. It's the driver or it's the car, where it's like it doesn't matter what you do to turn the tires on, they don't seem to grip up. So then that would be car. But if he just didn't do a good enough job warming them up, then that's him. You know, he's still early in his career, so it might take a bit longer to be getting him to that level where he can just go out and slam at P1. So Kyle in 4th up to 1. It's going to be hard to do. Where's Feeney? Where is Feeney? Jesus Christ. 9th down to 10th. That is bad. You were right. Alright. And Brownie nowhere too. Well, he must have had an issue because he's dropped from his 5th down to 17th. You were right about someone. The diffuser was falling off. The diffuser was falling off what, Woody's car? Had to repair it in pit lane and a 30-second pit stop to fix it. Oh, okay, Brown. Yep, alright. Alright, diffuser falling off. 30-second pit stop to repair it. Brutal. And then we're up to Brody Christchurch. Everything up a little bit. Brody was second from second. Cheers. 10th up to 8th, that's not good. A lot of people got confused with that. Started the race, the safety car boards and yellow flags were out. Some slowed down, some didn't. Yeah, that was an absolute mess. I couldn't believe it. And was it Woody got Payne or Payne got Woody? I think Woody got Payne. And yeah, absolute mess. Like what they should have done is put everyone back in the order they were, and then start from safety car. That's why Brown got that damage. Oh, that sucks. Because that's a race official proceeding and system failure. That shouldn't be they they shouldn't be punished for it. Like, obviously not legally punished or whatever you wanna call it. Um, but they should have just restarted the race in some sort of way after that. Yeah, I would have restarted too, because it's such a cock up. Yeah, red flag, restart, because, like, you have the whole system fail, everyone's all confused, and people are banging into one another, putting yeah, restart exactly the way it was from original spots, start over, and then everyone can have a good time. Yeah, it was lap 1, you're not missing out on too much from lap 1. Was that 10th up to 8th for Cheers? Yep. Pain. Feeney dropped from 8th to 13th. Brutal. They didn't start very well, so no wonder. Especially when you're that far back, it's it's the Wild West. People are dive bombing one another to get into the 10. Had a good start. Okay, he was with Brown. Well, Brown was up in 5th. Payne first dropped to 4th. Well, down to 4th. Then the safety car thing happened. Yeah, and I guess he was probably trying to do the right thing because he saw a yellow flag and went, "Oh, I better not go." But I think a lot of people didn't see yellow flags because even on a local yellow, you shouldn't be passing one another. So it's an absolute mess. That shouldn't have been allowed to have results happen from it. Everyone saw it. All the drivers saw the yellow flags. Cut. Everyone slow down. Okay. Because all I saw was the highlights. I didn't really read any articles on what exactly happened. Some people heard the race management channel telling it's still green. Oh, okay. Maybe a bit of radio issues. Some people didn't hear it as quick. Ah, damn. Yeah, and then maybe because you got a lot of radio going on. Like if your engineer's trying to tell you something, and then race management come on, you go, "Oh, there's a lot going on here." And then maybe the engineer will tell you afterwards, say, "No, no, slow down. It's," or whatever's going on. Yeah, but it's such a stuff up. People in the comments on YouTube were saying it's blaming the marshals. I'm thinking it's just a communications error from management to marshals. You can't blame the marshals for not hearing. If you watch it happening, you can tell some people heard it and others just followed, others accelerating. Okay, yeah. They were like, "Well, this guy's going, so I'm gonna go." Damn. Golding 8th up to 6th. It's the marshal's fault too, though. But if they didn't hear it, then they didn't know. Might have seen an incident, or maybe they were told at first that it's a yellow or that there was an incident. Only 2 marshal points put it out. Yeah, so the first 2, and we saw them waving. There was like one point that had the yellow, then the next one had the yellow. All right. So those first 2 points did something wrong. Incident was on. Yeah, I know the incident was on the start line with Reynolds and Reynolds, Hill, and Jones. Yeah. Yeah, so you don't need a yellow flag if it's on the start line. If you were gonna do anything, you'd do a full circuit yellow or something like that for the mess to get cleaned up. So they messed up. Yeah. Maybe maybe the second point saw what the first point was doing, so they brought a yellow out. And the first one saw the incident, so they brought a yellow out. That might have been what happened. Wonder if there's any articles explaining what's going on, what happened with it. Jimmy, 8th out of 6. If they did yellows fair, but the safety cardboard was out. Oh, yeah, it shouldn't be like that. Maybe they thought there would be one, but you can't assume. You have to go, this is what the officials have said is going to happen, so I do my job and just echo the command. But obviously they've done that wrong. You know, unless there's like an obvious crash that's like, oh, this guy's not going anywhere, he's in the middle of the road, or someone's gone off and it's going to come back on, then that's fair to wave a yellow. But you don't do it when you see something way down the road and then you get a safety car board out and wave the yellows. Anton. Don't think you ever do anything without race management telling you to do so. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've never actually spoken to a race marshal, so it'd be good to know how it works. Because it would be through Motorsport New Zealand, I think, and that those officials are through Motorsport New Zealand, in the same way that the officials in Australia are through Motorsport Australia. I think. 6th up to 5th. Good times for Anton. Not quite what we might be dreaming of because he has not really. Guess his first top 5 since his win in Sydney. But I don't have the next 2 races down just yet, so he might have had more good results. Watch them at Bathurst and someone has the headset communicating into they're telling the people to put the flags out when necessary. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it in Adelaide actually. When you've got the guy on the headset and he's getting information from the tower and being told, all right, yellow, yellow, or safety car boards. Each mask point, there's like 3, 4 people at one post. Yeah, I've seen that as well. It's quite busy in there. At some of them, Tailem Bend, not so much. I've seen like 2 to 3 rather than 3 to 4, like there is in Adelaide. But I think with a track like Tailem Bend, there's less likely to need to be too many flags out. But no, I've seen quite a few races this year where there's been an incident and they red flag it. Actually, I've seen quite a few red flags at Tailem Bend where someone's beached or something, so they red flag it. More likely to do that in practice and qualifying than during a race because they'll just bring out a safety car board for the race. How long we got till the shootout? 2 minutes to the shootout. Radio. I'll see if I can put one more down. Jack LeBrock. Bates got 9th. Very nice. LeBrock went nowhere. 15th. Alright. And I'll save that. And then we'll get ready to enjoy. So first out will be Cam Waters. Here we go. We're going to be dependent on the weather. Watching whoever gets the best track conditions, whoever gets their tyres warmed up right, and whoever's got the fastest car and makes the least mistakes and takes the most risk and puts it on the line to. So we'll see what he does. And shootout is harder to get um, like a qualifying level lap because it is shootout, so you only got one chance to do it. But obviously this is his warm-up lap, so we're not gonna see anything exciting just yet. But Waters is quite good in shootouts. I think a few years ago, wasn't Randall? Was it Randall who was good in shootouts? So they go out. Maybe it was Deeper Squally, maybe in DJR days or something like that. That every shoot they'd go into the shootout with like he'd scrape in, and then in the shootout he'd put in a really good time, put himself a lot further up. They had that sort of stuff on the screen. I don't know if they got this sort of stuff for Waters this year on Kayo. I don't know if you've got Kayo at the moment. I think you said you might have got it because of football memberships. Hmm. I wonder if he's doing a very good warm up procedure. He probably is. Waters is good. He's good at just putting one lap down, but they haven't quite had the car that, and they probably didn't make any adjustments because when you're in the shootout, you can't make adjustments. Here we go, sector one. Look at this system not knowing what to do. That line just speeding up for no reason. Oh, there we go. Now it's dribbling along. 22-1, not bad, not bad. Quite a competitive time. 21-9, I think, was the best one that was it Payne who did, or was it Jimmy? Jimmy did a 21-9. See this second sector. I think you're looking for like a 36 or a 32 or something. 32-9. Might be hoping for a bit more than a 32-9. Didn't Will Brown do a 32-9? I think that might be right. Definitely doing a very competitive time. And last sector, I can't remember what sort of times we were looking at in the last sector because I was just looking at the overall lap time. But a 20.9 was what Payne did last time. 21.3, very good lap, very good. Aaron Cameron is coming out ready to go. It looks like Waters did a very good lap, and he might put himself a lot further up because if you just do a really solid lap and make no mistakes, you can get yourself a lot further up. Not sure about Aaron Cameron if he's going to be able to, if he's quite good in shootouts. I think he might be a bit fresh to do it, but I think that front row start at Adelaide was a shootout lap, so or maybe it wasn't. No, I think there were shootouts for every lap. Well, for the Friday it wasn't, but definitely for Saturday and Sunday. Here we go. Aaron Cameron's on his lap. And that line does not know where to go. It just goes whoosh, and then it dribbles forwards. And then when he starts the second sector, then it goes at a regular speed. And now it's going at a regular speed. It's such a mess. I don't imagine it's gonna let me see. It's not gonna do a shotgun for me, is it? I don't think it does shotgun for shootouts, unfortunately. 10th faster than Waters in the first sector. Almost, yeah, 22 flat, that's about right. 33-1, oh, I'm losing a bit, gaining a bit. So he's got he might be a tiny bit off orders because he's down almost two tenths. He's up one, but he's up almost one and down almost two, so he's down one. And yeah, roughly a tenth off orders. Woody, I think, will probably do a pretty damn good one. He's a bit more experienced than Aaron Cameron, so he should be able to do a much better job. I wonder if it's what did Will Brown call it? The Nat Soft trigger on his wheel. That's what he was calling it, and that's why he was flashing everyone, like flashing lights at everyone. Was it the first race or something? That's funny. Lucky Dogs. Was it Taupo? I think it was Taupo. That apparently he was doing that. Let's see Woody's first sector. Needs to 22-1. He's a bit slower than all of them. Yeah, he's not turning those tires on, not quite. And hopefully he can do a much better second sector. But not doing great in qualifying there. I think Kai might do all right in this because these cars run really well at the moment. 32.8, very good. Very good. Knocked 10th off of Waters there. So he could be on there because he's dropped 100th, but he's gained a 10th. So he could be on. See that last sector needs to be the 26.241. 26.147. He's up on 2/10 on Waters. Very good. I think he barely scraped through. I think he was what? He was 8th in the last one. So he is minimum 8th now. So, and that's a really good lap as well. It's not quite at Matt Payne's level. Where Matt Payne laid a 20.9, and Golding did that at 21.9 first sector. There's definitely room for it. But Wood made gains in the second sector and gains in the third sector, so he must have sorted out that tyre warming issue. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Kai Allen can do. I reckon those Grove cars must be really sorted. So, and they've got such a great engineering group. They're losing Shippy, but they could be. They've brought in someone to replace Al McVeigh when he stepped up to be the engineering manager, and so now, Ricardo Corte is doing a great job with Kai Allen. I feel like it's like his claim to fame is he's a former Lewis Hamilton engineer. 22.12, good. That's a good one. His claim to fame is that he's a Lewis Hamilton engineer, but I don't think that's a very good thing when last year Lewis Hamilton was always complaining about his engineers. Uh, but he's a different kind of engineer. He wasn't the one in his ear all year. So that's the bit that I was happy to hear. I was like, wait, what engineer was he? Because in Formula One, they got heaps of engineers. Oh, that's not so good. Only slightly better than Waters. So he could slot in just behind Waters, actually. He could be all right. Just behind Wood, I mean. So he could get a 21-2. So he's doing all right. I was sort of hoping for more. But, Woody's very good. 26-2. Yeah. Oh, he's lost a little bit in that third. Oh, he's not really. He's just a hundredth better than Waters in the second sector, and 400ths better in the third sector. He sort of needed to be a 10th better, but he wasn't. He was just a teeny bit better in every sector. And so that's what's got the job done for him. So there's room there for Anton to slot in. Anton will do a very good job. Anton's a great qualifier. And he's sort of become a better racer as well. I think it was Garth Tander. You look at his average start position and average finish position. And early in his career, it used to be like a really low number. So it was always qualifying really well. And then late into the HRT years, like 2013 onwards, it just turned into he was just racing better. But obviously, race results are impacted um, by incidents and damage and stuff. So it's not exactly it doesn't tell the full story about what's going on. You don't know for sure if they're doing better or if they're doing worse or if they've just been having a lot of bad luck or the team isn't very good. It's a complicated sport, and that's why it's good fun to argue about it. 22 flat for Anton. Very good. Maybe the track's gripping up or something. I don't think it's quite as sensitive. Because Waters was a solid benchmark, but Anton's put a 10th in straight away. So if he can do a good job like a 32.8 in the second sector, he'll be on. What's he got? 32.9. It's still good, still up there. So he could slot in between Allen and Wood. But he's not faster than Wood. He's very close, though. He's only 600ths off in the second sector. So he needs to do a 26.1 or a 26 flat. We'll see where he ends up. 26.2. Boom. Got him. Nice job, Anton. Exactly the same time as what Woody did. But he wasn't as fast in the third sector and he wasn't as fast in the second sector. But he got that 10th on him. And then it's 600ths off, 300ths off. So he didn't really drop that 10th. So very close. .0002. That is close. Oh dear. Now it's Will Brown's turn, and we'll see if he can do a good job. He qualified 5th in the first one, so he could be up there. And he was up there in today's qualifying as well. Here we go, starting his lap. That line, why does it have to zoom straight away and go really, really fast? $22.1. Right, not quite what we're hoping for. We want 22 flats. He definitely needs to do a 32. It's interesting with the shootouts. The numbers always tumble. Or 32.8, very good. The numbers always tumble, so it always starts with the slowest guy going first, and then it goes until the fastest guy goes first. So theoretically, it should all end up being exactly the same. But everyone gets another crack at it. They might tune up their driving a little bit, brake later, do whatever they need to do. 26.1. All right, third for Brownie at the moment. Very good. Didn't quite beat Woody, but he's very close there. He beat Woody in the first sector, so that might be Woody's weakness. But couldn't beat him in the second, couldn't beat him in the third. And pretty much that looks like it's Woody's Achilles heel there, is that first sector. Because Anton did it and just managed to hang on to beat Woody. Now he's the qualifying king, Brock Feeney. Although lately has not been qualifying so well, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You know, you'd expect Feeney to be beating Brown. Here we go. Feeney's on. Whoosh. There goes the line again. $22 flat. Very good, very good. That's what you want. So if he hangs on, he could beat Woody as well. We'll see how that second sector goes. Definitely needs to be doing a 32.8. $33. Oh no. He really needs to make up for it in this third sector, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to do that because that's quite a lot there. He's up, but he's down. He's down 2/10 on Woody, and so that's not going to help his cause. So he could drop in past Allen, so not too bad, but he did make up for it in that third sector, but too little, too late. Bummer. Yeah, looks like Will Brown's doing very well compared to Feeney this weekend. And now it's Brody Kostecki who's up next, who, when I saw his name just pop up in the sheet, then I felt, he's going to be on, because he's been quite good this weekend as well. Very good at Taupo. So, he could do a very good job. Probably. Here we go. He's on. So he definitely needs to be doing a 22 flat. 22 flat, 22.08. He's up there. He's not the best, but he's up there. He definitely needs to be doing a 32.8. Otherwise, he's got his work cut out for him. 32.9, good, not great, but good enough. Really needs to get that third sector to be good. He dropped the rear off. God damn. That is not going to help. It's not going to help your exit speed. Because he got that back straight there. So he's not going to get that top speed there. Sector 2. Okay. So that might have done it. So 26.2. Wow, what happened there? I'm ahead of you. Okay, that's crazy. Oh, I'm just watching live timing, so maybe that's the difference. Comes in 6. Bummer. He should have been a lot better than that, but it must have been dropping that wheel off. Because that would have lost him quite a bit of speed there. So he might have been on for a much better second sector. But even then, that third sector wasn't very good either. That's a 10th down in the third sector, 10th down in the second sector. The first sector was all right. It's pretty good, but yeah. So Jimmy G's now. Time for Jimmy. Watch Payne kill. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what Matt Payne can do. And I think Golding will be all right because he can do a really good job at times. But and he's got seems to be quite competitive. They haven't quite stitched it together to be a completely competitive package that he can stick it on the front row all the time, but it's definitely front row capable. First 2 rows. Yeah, I think Golding could be first 2 rows. I think he would definitely be the first 4 rows. I'd be surprised if he was 7th, so down to 10th. Is it tripping up? No. It just didn't look like it was updating the times. Just going really slow. He went off. That's his timed lap he's gone off. God damn, in the wall. God damn, Jimmy. What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me? How did he manage that? Wow. Oh my God. Into the tire bundle. My goodness. Oh, it's be a good time to check shotgun and see if I can switch into Jimmy Cam. He doesn't seem to want to do it for me. The car is drivable, apparently. It's all the same thing, yeah. I think it's just in overview that shotgun pops up if it's available. The amount of dirt Jimmy just dragged on. Oh no! That's not fair. That's not fair on Matty Payne. Wow. Well, 10th. Just as we were talking to him, if Payne gets pole, that will be very impressive now if he just dragged a heap of dirt on the track. That's gonna be so annoying. That's the story of Golding. Yeah, he can be quite erratic with his results. You know, we have so much hope for him, and he can deliver on occasion. He can really deliver, but there are the times where you're like, "Why? Why have you done this to me?" Mm. But I'm gonna be surprised if Matt Payne can put it on pole now because of what Jimmy's done to the track there. Because now Payne might be compromised because if he slips on the dirt, if he like breaks at the very last moments to maximize his lap time and just slips straight off as well, then that's going to really suck. $21.9, let's go. He's on because that was first sector that Jimmy went off, right? So apparently no issue. Let's go. And just needs to beat a 32.8. It should be pretty easy because he must have a much better car than Woody. 32.8. He's very close. He's very, very close. Just 100th off. But he has put 2/10 on Woody in the first sector. So if he just hangs on, he's got pole. Boom, got him. 20.9. Smashed him. He's just done the exact same lap again. Ah, good job, Matty Payne. He just gets it done. That's what he does. Yeah, that's how he ended up. I swear he was like second in the championship after Bathurst last year. And then it just went wrong. They just didn't quite have the pace at Gold Coast, and Sandown was a mess, and boom, they're out, done. He should have been top. He should have been in the finals last year. Because Groves is a great team. They've been building and building. They're not settling for less. They've got a lot of their ducks in a row where they can rock up and be a competitive team at pretty much every track. Where they might not be on the podium, but they can definitely bank 4th or 5th. Oh, that was a shootout. The second they give Chev back their balance, they're competitive again. Yeah, well, but also Anton's quite a good driver as well. It's the only Chev too. It's just the one Chev. You know, it's not like all of a sudden Cooper Murray was up there again because he was good in Q1, but then he started in Q2. So, all the rest are ass. Yeah, pretty much. That's what Barry Ryan was saying. They just don't have the A-grade drivers in Chev at the moment. You know, Anton's not necessarily A-grade. He's B-grade. And I think that that Woody is struggling a little bit, but he's just managed to get it a bit closer to where he needs it. He didn't want to single out Anton as an A grade. He's like B plus. Yeah, I think Anton is top of the B grades. He's just more consistently competitive, whereas the other drivers seem to struggle more. especially after last year, and not counting Triple Eight last year. So Matty Payne and Anton on the front row, very good stuff. That could be very good for Anton. Woody and Brownie on the second row, Feeney and Allen on the third row, Kostecki and Waters, and BRT back row, back of the 10, row 5. Chev are so stupid. Oh, they are. Like, they don't know how to do it. They're just like rock up with a. I can lose Triple A, honestly, and then you want to spend money. It's the dumbest thing. It's so dumb. And then they want to buy drivers who are good now, and then what? Like, then you're gonna have no one in 5 years' time. Yeah, it's just like, and you're gonna put Matt Payne in a Team 18 car, so they're gonna be Matt Payne and Anton in Team 18, but they didn't learn from the James Courtney situation. Yeah, they don't learn. Like, the only thing that was like when Holden was around and they had Simon McNamara putting the money in, it was a good time. But it was just it's just deteriorated that where they're just leaning on Triple Eight to say, "Oh yeah, you guys are the factory team," but they don't do anything for. They just, I don't know. I disagree. Without Triple Eight holding his bananas. Yeah. With Walkinshaw was good when they got Mostert. What other good Holden teams there were? I don't know. Yeah, apart from Triple Eight, just Walkinshaw. Obviously Techno was good, but it's a Triple Eight car. Team 18 had been competitive at times, but not consistently competitive. And that was half their problem. They're only getting half the results. Walkinshaw's meant to challenge for championships. What do you mean they've been good? I've been getting more top 10s with Mostert. They won like 10 races max. Yeah. Every team looks like rubbish compared to Triple Eight. That's the thing. Groves look good. That's stinky. What do you mean? it's just every team is not as good as Triple Eight. So Triple Eight have been mopping up. Not so much this year. They used to win every week. Walkinshaw used to win every week when they had Mark Scaife, yeah, in 2002. But that was about it. It's not like, and apart from when DJR Team Penske were around, HSV included. Yeah, okay. If you're including HSV as well, then we say 2007 at the latest. When Garth Tander won 15 races. So yeah, but that was before Triple Eight really started getting good. Wing Cup just started to get good in 2007, and then in 2008 he turned it on and was doing everything he needed to do, and Triple Eight started refined their package to be, and also Walkinshaw dismantled their operation pretty much and screwed themselves over. Triple Eight was good. What do you mean? Well, they didn't win 15 races. Triple Eight didn't win 15 races. Garth Tander did. Walkinshaw was just better at the time. Yeah, that's what I mean. Walkinshaw was better at the time. But it didn't say Triple Eight weren't good. I think it was later in the year, I think. All right, we can look at that. We can look this up. Let's look. 2007 Wait for my computer to catch up and work out what it wants to do. Go down. I like looking at the yellow numbers. So it's Walkinshaw winning every race. Whincup got one, and then they got to Hidden Valley, and then Lowndes won a couple, and then end of the Lowndes era into the Whincup era. Yeah, but even then, it was still HSV dominating. And Triple A won a few of them. They got one there for Whincup, two there for Lowndes, then three there for Lowndes. Come Enduros, they win the Enduros, and then a couple more, like one more for Lowndes, two more for Whincup. But it was definitely a Walkinshaw era in 2007. And then obviously it changes in 2008, but that was because of what Mark Scaife did to HRT and HSV, where they've just ruined it for themselves by prioritizing politics over results. Because like Tander still that was going to happen anyway. Well, it might have been going to happen anyway, but they they threw the baby out with the bathwater pretty much. At the end of 2007, they like obviously Scaife wasn't getting much better, and here he is in 2008 not doing very well. It's not like the HSV car to HRT car is different. No, well they've both got the same chassis, but they put everything in the HRT camp in 2008, and HSV didn't really have anything. I think who was it Eric Pender was Rick Kelly's engineer. I think there was other engineers that were made team managers, which happens and that's all right, but especially if the drivers weren't great. Oh yeah, in 2008, Paul Dumbrell at HSV. Rick Kelly was still pretty good, but it didn't have Garth Tander anymore to put good resources into it. Yeah, they were still very competitive. But they weren't getting regular podiums anymore with HSV. Obviously, they were getting more regular podiums with Garth in the HRT car. They still had Garth, so Rick Kelly is not great. He just finished top 5. Yeah, he was a consistent driver. And we have seen quite a few occasions where he had an opportunity to get the job done and he just stuffed it up. And that happened. He's not a great driver. He's not a Garth Tander. And that's sort of the problem there, is prioritizing the Kellys. That's the difference between him and Tander. Yeah, well, Tander will get the job done. And that's why you invest into Tander. Yeah. I think the problem was prioritizing the Kellys at Walkinshaw. So maybe you're right, what you said earlier, that it was inevitable that Walkinshaw was going to decline because they were investing in drivers who weren't top talents. Whereas at AAA, Roland Dane was looking at who's going to work the hardest to get the results. And he felt like Whincup was the guy, and Whincup definitely became the guy in 2008. And Lowndes has got the raw talent, so Lowndes was definitely the guy to have. Whincup wasn't even meant to be that guy anyway. No, he was meant to be a good number 2. He just tripped and fell into it. Yeah, but you don't, maybe Roland Dane was wrong or something to think that the Max Verstappen approach is the right way to run a race team, where you just build everything around the one guy and then expect things to just work well for 10 years. Well, in the book, he said that what happened was in 2007, they started developing the car, or like setting up the car Like like him and Dado started setting up the car around what Jamie wanted rather than what worked for Craig. So then they started to become they've got two number ones. And so once they did that, then they found out that Jamie actually can be really good if he just does things the way that he wants them, and then started smashing Craig. So and then they had two number ones. And then so that was sort of the attitude when they brought SVG into the Red Bull cars. Just an evolution of drivers. Yeah. And it's important in a race team to be looking for the next best thing. Um, because drivers only going to be at their peak for so long. The difference of hard work beats talent. Yeah, but that's it. Um, not saying Craig didn't work hard. Well, I think even Craig admitted himself that the difference between him and Scafie was that Lowndesy would go out the back and sign babies' faces, and Scafie would be working on the race car. The difference of application, yeah, well, the same. And Scott McLaughlin is another example of the hard work versus talent, because you think, oh, McLaughlin's really talented, but from what Gary Rogers said about him is that he hadn't seen anyone who worked as hard as Scotty did. So, and that's sort of what he's like. SVG might be a bit more of a seat of the pants raw talent compared to Jamie. Everyone says that though. That that was that McLaughlin worked hard, or that work hard beats talent. Depends what's going on at the time, in terms of like you had a raw talent at your team. Because like you got to think of like Lowndes at HRT, raw talent versus hard work. He was still beating Scafie. It's going crazy. They say I've never seen anyone work harder. Yeah, it's a bit of a lie, really, because they probably have seen other people working hard. Like Garth Tander was probably one of those guys, because Garth Tander's not like a raw talent, but he had a bit of talent and he worked hard. Whoever's winning, they say that shit. Yeah, they're like, oh, they work so hard and blah blah blah, and that's why they got the results. But yeah, maybe they got lucky. The car rolled out fast. That's luck. What? There's some you can tell by the way they drive that they're just not quite, that they're just sort of winging it, or that they've really worked at it. Wingcup's straight hard work, because naturally he's not that great. Yeah. And he came from a background of you've got to work really hard at it compared to some drivers we've seen. Mm. Yeah, well, there's some drivers who just jump in and magically get a good result without trying. But I think even they said that what Whincup said about Adelaide in 2006 was he hadn't done his homework and he still managed to get lucky with it and win Adelaide. He came third in the first race. Made Whincup learn so many things. But Whincup said in, I think it was in karting, that his team would change his way of driving. I don't know, maybe he did. It's a shame some of that stuff isn't in the books. Like 2013, he really SVG started the brake bias shit everyone does now. Yeah, or because they've still got the brake bias stuff. Because the anti-roll bar stuff is the stuff they have to change in the pits with the Gen 3 car. They've still got some brake bias bars. And they can change the front brake bias or the rear brake bias or whatever it is. I'm not sure what the sticks do. Corner to corner changes it. Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. I don't know if they can do that in NASCAR anymore. Nobody ever did that. Now everyone does it. Yeah. I think in NASCAR they don't have that sort of stuff. So it's just entirely driver input. Not you're not making adjustments on the fly. But I don't think I've seen much um, NASCAR in-car footage, so I haven't seen if SVG does much in there. Wouldn't really need to anyway. Well, yeah, because on ovals, obviously, but on the road courses, you might need to. Road courses and street tracks. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well, I'll finish going through my information. Scotty Mac versus SVG is interesting, though. Yeah, for sure. Because Scotty Mac is like School of Wing Cup. Yeah. Start first and run away. Yeah, because he's all about getting pole and moving forward. Whereas SVG is a lot more like on the fly racing, making those little changes, getting closer, and just passing cars. That's more of what SVG would do. Pure racecraft, yeah. You know, in retrospect, it's great to think about how good he was. But it was so annoying at the time. You were like, "Why is this guy so good? Why does he have to like bump everyone out the way as well?" He was such a he was it was frustrating for sort of frustrating for the sport in a way. His car position is so OP, so whenever it's a battle, you knew he was coming out on top. Yeah, that's why you had like Waters and Anton and even Chaz like having to fight really hard to get him. Mhm. Alright, what am I doing? Kai Allen at Christchurch. They were never close to him, so when Scotty left, SVG got bored. Yeah, Whincup was out of his prime. Yeah. Well, I mean, Whincup only had another year left in him, so nobody else was on his level. Yeah, Whincup was definitely out of his prime. 2021. 2020, some of it was just bad luck for SVG with mechanical issues in 2020. That he would have been further up in the championship, probably would have been battling it, Scotty Mac, but he couldn't. Just those mechanical issues. The one at was it Townsville, the one at Adelaide. He would have been a lot closer in the mix, but I think Whincup was closer. Was getting better results at times as well, so it's pretty close. But definitely 2021 Whincup was not. He was also driving shit though. What SVG wasn't driving very well. Or Whincup was, because Taylor Mendy had a stinker. I will find my SVG thing. SMP wasn't great. Yeah, it's fine. How good was SVG? Here we go. Whoosh. Alright. 2020 SVG. Here we go. So SMP was actually qualifying quite well. Triple Eight stands as podium, by the way, not top 5, top 10 BS. Yeah. Those are just things that people make up. They're not real results, it's podiums. Yeah, he was not getting results at SMP, not really. He got one podium and not running up the front. Whereas Wingcup was. The second round, not so much, but in the first round, he was right up there. One podium versus two podiums, one podium versus another podium. It's the reused tyre round. Oh, yeah, yeah. So, depends on, it was Fugazi Racing, but still. I thought it was just like, you can see in the second race at SMP2, Wincup's obviously qualified on crap tyres and raced on crap tyres and gained a couple of spots by not driving like an idiot. And I think in that maybe that first one at Darwin might have been on bad tyres. Same deal with SVG. The SVG might have been slightly better at looking after tyres. Hard to say, but like Brock was winning races. Oh yeah, that was because they introduced the soft tyre. So if you had softs, you won. You were getting a top 10. Darwin was soft hard. Yeah, well, that's how Anton got his first win. Scotty Pye got a podium, but Scotty Pye was just good there in general at Darwin. James Courtney got a podium. Like some of that stuff, the only reason that James Courtney managed to carry on his podium every year is because of that soft tyre stuff. So he picked whatever race to use the softs. Yeah, well, it's like Zane Goddard. He used the softs and got his top 10, whereas Jake Kostecki chose not to because he didn't want to get a cheap result. He was a bit more consistent in that way, but he wasn't qualifying quite as well as Zane anyway. But it's not SVG starting to get a bit better by the end of Darwin there, but then obviously was it McCann dropped to 19th there, steering failure there. SVG wasn't doing great that year. Yeah, he started to get good at the end there. He racked up 4 wins at the end, Townsville and the Bend. Yeah, but Wingcup was just more consistent, and then Wingcup wasn't even close. Yeah, SVG started to get really good at the end of 2020. And like he won Bathurst, and then he comes in 2021 and he wins the first 2 rounds, and then he's just winning heaps and heaps of races. Wingcup fell off at the end of the year. Yeah, it looked like it. Wingcup sort of said that in 2020 started to get a bit burnt out. So it probably really showed when they got to the Bend by the end of there. He said it was that the being on the road all the time. He was meant to retire in 2020. Yeah, but what was it? There was something that I don't think it was COVID that sort of held it up. I think he just decided that he wanted to do one more year, nobody to replace him. Yeah, well, it doesn't say that in the book, but maybe that's the truth. Maybe they just didn't have somebody good enough. They needed another Wingcup, and it was going to be hard to find. They had an SVG, and you don't really want 2 SVGs. That's just going to be a little crash fest, pretty much. 2 guys banging into one another all the time. Nobody was there that could do the job. Yeah. What was it that Roland Dane said that people were ringing him saying, "Oh, my contract means nothing." Better than Wingcup, that isn't him. That isn't SVG. Yeah. And then just destroying everyone. And then not having a good time I would have been begging for that drive too. Oh yeah, everybody we're going, oh yeah, I want to be driving the championship winning car. How salty would you be this random kid gets it? The writing was on the wall, though. He had all the sponsors, he had the number 888 on the car. Um, it was sort of gonna be a bit surprising if it didn't happen, and he was also doing a really good job in Super 2. So, it was it was a bit inevitable. Got that Super 2 drive because of that, though. Because of the sponsorships. Yeah, the Paul Morris relationship. Yeah. Yeah. And, yeah, Paul Morris is mates with Roland Dane, so but Brock was pretty good too. He won the Super 3 championship, win a Super 2. They were setting him up to be Jamie's replacement. And I guess they just needed to buy some time, so Jamie did one more year, announced at the very start of the year saying, "Yep, this is the last one," and then, phoned it in. He was making mistakes and oh, yeah, he was. He crashed at Bathurst in the Super 2 car. But after that, he got the top 10 in the 1,000. So 17 turned 18 on race day. Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't doing very well in the Tickford car compared to what Thomas Randall had done. But Randall was older as well and more experienced, so it was a bit less likely to be making those sorts of mistakes. Mm. But and then there's also Peter Adderton as well in the mix with the Boost sponsorship. Randall was in a Matt White Ultima. What do you mean? Oh, I'm talking about. So Feeney took over. Feeney drove at Tickford in the 2020 in 2020, and Randall was in that car in the previous 2 years. So that's what I'm talking about. What Randall had achieved in his first 2 years in Super 2 versus what Feeney achieved in his 1 year in the Tickford car. But I think even Randall was sort of struggling in that car as well. Obviously, Randall was smashing everyone in 2020. Randall Championship is Fugazi anyway. 2 events. Yeah, it was Adelaide, SMP, and Bathurst. There was 3 rounds. And so because of COVID, Brody Kostecki wasn't able to contend for the championship. Will Brown, it was basically Will Brown versus Thomas Randall. And you got the best car versus you got the um, Erebus image car. So sort of expected that because the Ultima was really good in Super 2 at the time, so would have been a bit surprising for it to see him not get it done, especially when you're in your 3rd year in Super 2. Yeah. Feeney in there, 888 Super 2. Yeah. Obviously driving for the top team was a demon after the first round. He was really good in the first round as well. It was just Ange Mazuris beat him for that first pole position, and then Feeney won the race, and then I don't no Feeney got a penalty or something in the second race, but after that, yeah, he was the guy to beat. Wonder if it's similar to Declan Fraser. Because like year 1 not so good, year 2 better, but obviously I think Fraser wasn't as good as Feeney was in that same car. Because I think Fraser, like that first round, he was mid in his championship year. I think they didn't quite have the drivers. Um, no, actually, you know what? They still had like Zach Best and stuff. There's similar sort of drivers in 2021 versus 22. Just Feeney seemed to be getting better results than what Fraser was getting. And Fraser struggled in that like that first round at SMP. I think might have to check that. We'll check that information. 2022 Super 2. Doing everything in his power to lose it. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, not that impressive. A podium, a win, barely getting top fives. And then swept Adelaide. Whereas we don't barely even need to look at Feeney. Feeney won a lot of races. Yeah, first and second in almost every race apart from second race at Bathurst, which I think was a penalty. Yeah, Zach Best wasn't he wasn't close enough a lot of the time. I don't remember if he made too many mistakes, but he just wasn't. Or you're saying Fraser wasn't impressive? Yeah, I think Fraser wasn't impressive, and then his camp crying about, "Oh no, don't be mean," blah blah blah. It was like, well, maybe we shouldn't be comparing you to Brock Feeney, but we have to. It's motorsport. It's how it works. There was also that 6 rounds in 22, and is that 5 rounds in 21? Yeah, 5 rounds in 21. 3 tracks: Bathurst, Townsville, SMP. Whereas Fraser had more. There were no repeat rounds. There was 6 different rounds. Kayo Island Championship, Zach Best was even worse. Yeah, he screwed that one up. Putting that move on and losing himself the championship, that ruined it. I can't remember who he put in the fence. Was it Charter or something? Charter, Sydney, Morse. Might have been Morse. I can't remember who exactly it was. Yeah, it was his to have, and he's just gone bonk. Put Morris, that's right, put Nash Morris in the fence and cost himself a result. And Kai Allen was just sitting there behind, waiting for something to happen. Yeah. I don't know if you want to stick around more. I'm probably just going to do a bit more putting all the data in. Or if you're happy to wrap it up, then I'll just wrap it up. And we'll enjoy the rest of our days. Two wins and to be champion is crazy. Yeah. Like, that's not a championship. That's just called being consistent. Everyone else being bad. Ryan was cooking them. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Kai Allen. Yeah, it was Woody's championship to lose pretty much, and he lost it. It was like Woody and Zach Best doing the results. Like putting the polls in, and then Kai Allen's just sort of like he came in, got what, Townsville, some other result. It wasn't even that fast the year after either. Kai Allen, or yeah, I guess you must mean Kai Allen. Kai Allen was like the guy to beat, and then he had that crash at Bathurst, and then he wasn't fast enough at Adelaide in 24. That's all it was. It was just he had a bad Bathurst and then not good enough at Adelaide because Aaron Cameron came good. Who knocked off Kai Allen for Zach Bates, and Zach Bates was actually quite good that year as well. So it was like to have that bad Bathurst that gave Zach Bates the lead I think he gave him the lead. And so then he just wasn't good enough to beat Zach Bates. That's all it was. I think he wasn't quite qualifying close enough, and it was going to be a tough fight. Like they just didn't find the right setup at Adelaide, but um, they lost the lead at Bathurst where he had whatever it was, a steering failure or something. Or defending champ needs to be so much better than that. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah. In Adelaide, yeah. In Bathurst, I'd say just it just happens. Sometimes you have a bad weekend and it costs you. But Adelaide wasn't good enough. Like he should have won the championship. Like all year, it was looking like he's going to win the championship, and then at Bathurst it went wrong, and at Adelaide he couldn't recover. Because it was like third and was it third and fifth in 24? Seventh and second. Ugh. I mean, second's good, but by the time he got up to that point, Zach Bates didn't even have to beat Kyle to win the championship. He'd already got it done because he had what he didn't have a DNF like Kai did. 19th and 17th, and then 14th and a DNF. And that DNF would have robbed him big time because that's 63 points for 14th. 19th is 48 points, and that's 0 points for a DNF. It cost him huge amount. And I think that was because he had some sort of damage in the first race, and then he had the steering failure that caused him to crash. Yeah, seventh in that first race. That's not good enough. I remember sitting because I was there that weekend, and I took a photo of the grid of Super 2, and I was like, Kai Allen is really far down. He really needs to be a lot closer to Zach Bates. So, yeah. And yeah, Bates got it done. But Kai Allen, and that's what made me question whether Kai Allen would actually be that good in his rookie year. That's what made my prediction for his 2025 championship a lot more questionable than what he actually ended up getting. Like, he's obviously good, but it's really hard to tell how that's going to translate into main game. But I think it just became really clear that Grove Racing is a very good team, a very good operation that is able to give their drivers what they need. And having the consistency of, I mean, even I think they were still making changes to the Ford last year as well, weren't they? Is there any changes or? I don't think so. So they had a bit of consistency with their setups and things. But I think Grove Racing had better processes. So they didn't have to worry about changes being made to the cars. But hang on, who was on pole there? Because Cooper Murray was getting poles. Kyle and Zach Bates didn't get too many poles. I thought he was a lot better than that. Maybe he got more front rows. And Jack Perkins came through and got a few. But like if Jack Perkins comes through and is getting poles and wins in the car, maybe the drivers there aren't that good. So if it was Ryan Wood, Woody would have been sweeping, but he was already in the main game being impressive. So yeah, maybe it wasn't quite Kyle should have done a lot better in that year. All right. I finished doing my homework. So Kai got the win. I don't know why. I guess I just hadn't got up to Kai yet. To the first, he did a very good job getting that win. Turning up the speed as well. When Brody was putting the blowtorch on behind him. Yeah. Andre 13th stays 13th. Brutal. Not a lot of speed coming out of those BJR Toyotas. But I did have a suspicion that, changing manufacturer isn't always the solution that you might think it's going to be. You're still not the top team. Still not going to be getting those results. Waters 7th, 14th up to 7th. Very nice. Cameron Hill. And I think he had a pretty bad one. Yep, DNF. Is that 5 laps? Yeah, I think he dawdled around after a bit. And DNF. Now I have to find the qualifying results. Oh. 22nd. 22nd to DNF. It's second worst qualifying of the year so far. And the other car was David Reynolds. Because Cooper had a bad start, right? And that's what messed him up. Messed a lot of people up. Or was it someone else? So 18th to DNF for Reynolds. I might want to wrap this up actually, because it's a rainy day and I got my washing on the line. And if it started to get dry, I want to be being careful and picking stuff off the line just in case it starts raining again. So I think I will actually wrap it up. And it's fine. We've been going strong for 2 hours. So yeah, I'll call it a day. And yeah, thanks for coming, Bootleg. And we had a good time watching qualifying and the shootout, watching the live timing anyway. But yeah, it's been a good day. And yeah, W stream. Thank you. Yeah, all right. And we'll see each other next week. Bye bye.